Okay, this is a fun little activity in which we give the spectator ever greater levels of freedom in how things are done. So as you can see, I have 10 cards on the table. We'll just kind of refer to them as 10 mystery cards at the moment. Now you might suspect that they're in a particular arrangement or order. So why don't we go ahead and mix these? How would you like these stacked? Right on left? Okay. We can do a Charlier shuffle if you've seen that before. This is top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. In fact, if you were here, you could actually randomly cut the cards at any location. Another great way to mix cards truly is to use the Klondike shuffle. This is where you take the top and bottom cards off as one. And then from here, we'll go ahead and just deal them out into two piles, like so. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you spell club. If you were here, I'd have you pick up the left-hand pile and move one card to the bottom for each letter in the word club. So C-L-U-B. And then we'll set aside this pair right here. Okay, how would you like these stacked? Right on left? Okay, why don't we go ahead and deal those out again? Like so. Okay, now we're going to spell the word diamond, but this time you can decide which pile we work with. You want to work with the right one. Okay, so D-I-A-M-O-N-D. Set aside the next pair, like there. Okay, how would you like these stacked? Left on right? Okay, we'll deal those out. Okay, and we've arrived at the word spade. This time we're going to alternate the spelling of these letters, okay? And you can decide which pile we begin with. You want to begin with the one on the left. Okay, so S, P, A, D, E, spade. Okay, and finally we have heart, okay? But before we get there, how would you like these stacked? Right on left? Okay, go ahead and deal those out again. Now we'll give you the greatest freedom of all. We're going to go ahead and spell heart, but you can decide which pile you work with for each letter in that word. So you want to work with the left one first. So H, and then E over here as well. E, now this one here. A, one on the left. R, and then T on the right for the last one. Very good. We'll set aside that pair. And then we have a fifth pair over here. Come to think of it, there's only 4 suits. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. So we have 5 pairs. So what do we have here? Oh, we have 2 hearts. Oh, 2 clubs. No way, 2 diamonds? And 2 spades. How in the world did you do that? Wait a second, what's the 5th pair? What's going on here? Oh, jokers. Jokers are wild. So we can count them as the 5th suit. Okay, so how did we do this? Well, you begin with these very pairs in any order that you like. Okay, this is called an AMP on the Absolute Math Magic channel. So it's pairs of cards. Okay, now what we did was I dealt them out into 2 piles, which converts an AMP to a 2-cycle structure. So it's a cyclic construction now. Okay, so there's a repeating pattern here every 5 cards. Let me quickly show you that. We have clubs, hearts, diamonds, jokers or wild cards, and then spades. Okay, so this is cyclic, and because it's cyclic, you can perform random cuts, or stronger still, you can perform a Charlier shuffle. So I can add a link in the description below so you can learn that if you'd like to, but this won't hurt a cyclic arrangement of the cards. From there, we performed a Klondike shuffle. That converts it to a mirrored packet. Now, it's a mirrored packet that we really need for this spelling system to actually work. Okay, so let me just point out what a mirrored packet is, if you don't know. As you come in on the outer ends, we have diamonds, jokers, hearts, spades, and clubs. Okay, very good. So this is the kind of arrangement you need before we do the spelling of club, then diamond, then spade, then heart. Okay, so from here you just deal out into two piles, left, right. Okay, and you have the spectator. The idea is you're giving the spectator greater and greater levels of freedom. Okay, so here we actually just kind of tell them pick up the left one and spell out club by moving the top card to the bottom for each letter in that word. So they would go C, L, U, B, and then you remove the top two cards. Well, they're actually going to match, okay, in suit. Now I do want to point out that the spelling of the particular suit will not necessarily correspond to that pair being created. Okay, so that most likely will not happen. But the key is don't make it out that you're going to do that. And if you watch my performance, I in no way suggested that when I spelled club, I was going to put down a pair of clubs, or diamond, it was going to be a pair of diamonds. Okay, now I did one sneaky thing though. That I'll point out in just a moment that you'll really want to pay attention to and watch for this. Okay, so we spelled club, right? C-L-U-B. Do you remember what we did next? It was diamond. Now here we gave the spectator one more level of freedom. We said, okay, which pile should we begin with first? In truth, at the very beginning for club, it wouldn't matter which pile you use, okay? But we went ahead and just said, use the left pile. Now for diamond, we're going to give them ostensibly more freedom, and so they're free to choose working with the left pile or the right pile. Maybe they'll choose the right. Okay, so here they just move one card for each letter in the suit diamond. So D, I, A, M, O, N, D. So that will bring, quote, a companion pair to the top. I can point out something right now. I know that these are the jokers. Okay, that's kind of an important little subtlety here. Okay, and it will enable you to reveal the cards in a fun way, hopefully like I did, where you reveal the jokers last. Well, you can probably guess how I know that these are the jokers. In fact, if you look really carefully, you can maybe see something there. But so I've marked them just in the corners here, just a little bit. So the jokers have been marked so that I know that these are the jokers. And I think that's where they landed too last time, right? Weren't they in the middle there? Okay, and then that way I can choose to reveal those at the very end for the finale. Okay, now do you remember what we did next? Okay, we randomly stacked these. I'm not sure if I did that for the jokers. Sorry about that. And then you can divide into two piles. And now we're going to move on to spade. Well, we're going to give them more freedom here and a more complex way of doing the spelling. We're going to alternate between them. But they can choose what pile we start with. So maybe they'll want to start with this one. So we're going to spell spade S P A D E. That's guaranteed to bring companion cards to the top. Now we know what it is. It happens to be the spades. Randomly stack these according to the spectator's request. Deal out into two piles, and we've arrived at heart. Here we give them the greatest freedom of all because they can choose to work with either pile for each letter in the word heart. Okay, so maybe they'll go H and then E, A, R, and then T over here. That's fine. These two are guaranteed to be companion cards. I'll show you that right here. Okay, and then the final two will be companion cards as well. Okay, so you're going to match up the four suits perfectly. And then if you make some kind of mark just to enable you to know which of these five is the pair of jokers, you can reveal those last. Okay? And so I think it will kind of increase the impact of the whole performance if you actually do that. So anyway, this is a fun spelling routine that, to my knowledge, Max MAVEN was one of the first ones to use it. I'm not sure if he's the one that originated the structure of this routine here, but I know that he did perform it. So he's one that we can point to as one of the great ones in card magic. Okay? And then my contribution to the whole thing is the fact that I've given names and descriptions to the packet structures that we're using. An AMP packet where we just randomly stack these. In fact, this is how we would like reset it. Dealing that into 2 piles with random stacking gives you a 2 cycle. From there you can surely a shuffle or randomly cut it. From there you can perform a Klondike shuffle, which creates a mirrored structure. And that's the kind of structure you need when spelling out into 2 piles and then performing this spelling system of club, then diamond, then spade, then heart. And then just watch for where the jokers land and be sure to reveal those last. So anyway, thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.